We are live, guys. Hey, everybody. How you doing? This is Leroy from Blood, Sweat, and Cell. Thank you guys for joining us for our third episode of Black
Hey
History Month.
everybody, how you doing? This is Leroy from Blood, Sweat, and Cell. Thank you guys for joining us for our third episode.
Why the echo back?
We still learning, but it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. Okay, so we're good. Again, and everybody in the oh goodness. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'll let these guys introduce themselves, and you guys can go ahead.
Okay. Hello, everybody. I go by Miss Taffy. I'm a part-time reseller based out of California, and I'm here with we're discussing Black History this month. I have the honor of being with Ella, Derek, and Leroy, and I'm gonna let them introduce themselves as well.
Okay, my name is Ella, and I'm a part-time reseller. I work part-time, so I'm able to do reselling part-time, and I live in Florida.
Okay.
Beautiful Florida.
Oh, and you know me, Save Here First is my business name.
And what's up, everybody? I think that's in the chat knows who I am. My name is Derek, Fundamentals of Side Hustle on YouTube and Instagram. I am a full-time reseller, full-time entrepreneur across the platform. I am just honored to be here with the Leroy, Miss Taffy, and Ella to kind of just talk about how we feel about just Black history and just history in general, and celebrating this month that we are given each year.
Right.
Oh, Derek, you're funny.
So I know everybody's been busy all weekend, and I know there might be some people here that have family members that might have gone through some of the tragedies and stuff through the storm from last week. So pray for all you guys, and I hope that everybody's family and everybody is doing a little bit better, or trying to push through all the stuff that we went through last week. That wasn't fun. Hearing what happened to a lot of people, even people in the community.
Yeah, it's very, very sad. My condolences, and I wish well for everyone.
I see there's some people in the chat. We have Julian, VGen Hustle. Julian, thank you for coming in. Flippin' Sports Guy, Paul, thank you for coming in. It says Mr. 10%. I'm not sure. I can't read that one. We got Brandy. Thank you for coming in. Of course, Ella, thank you. And we have Mr. Dad. Oh, I'm sorry, Tommy. Thank you for coming in, guys.
Yes, thank you, guys.
We appreciate y'all.
Yes. So we're going to get straight into it. I have a question for you guys. When you think of Black businesses, well, who was the first person that comes to you guys' mind that will go down in history?
The guests can go first. You guys can go first.
Okay.
Ella, you want to go, Ella?
All right. I think I will say LeBron James for me, and I hope he goes down in history. I know he's down in history, but for a different aspect, which is education. For me, being a former teacher or retired teacher, I was always, looking to see what I could do with the educational system, provide books for children. I used to give school supplies out, to kids way back, So for him to look at the educational system in his community and think that it's not working for those that don't have the advantage, for him to okay, I'm going to set up a school. And I think he called it, let me look at my notes here. I think I promised, I think that's what he called it. Well, I think he called it, whatever he called it. Let me, sorry, in my notes, I wrote it down because, let me see. Okay. I'm sorry. I Promise School. Yes, that's what he named it. And I think he has done a lot for that, for the educational system, bringing kids that don't have the advantage that other people have. So for me, I think I would say LeBron James.
Okay.
There's some other people too, but I'll pick him first.
Yeah, he's super prevalent in the community. The thing I like about that choice is he started just coming into the NBA. He was kind of scrutinized, right? Everyone expected him to fail because he came straight out of high school. And you look through his whole NBA career, he's had no flaws. Everyone keeps trying to find flaws on him. And they keep pushing him, but he's had no flaws. And people hate that about him. And he just keeps treading on the way because they're just waiting for that Tiger Woods moment that they can capitalize on and strike him down. But hopefully that never happens. He keeps pushing along the way he is and keep doing what he's supposed to be doing for the community. And I keep saying what he's supposed to be doing because I feel like it's an obligation. And I keep saying that all the time. A lot of people don't feel that way, but I feel like it's an obligation. And I know I'm kind of going off a little bit, but you guys know me. I kind of go off on a little side speeches. I just think,
Derek, I think also that he's also providing low cost housing. Also, he's doing job trainings for people to look for jobs. So I think he is doing more in his community. I guess there is more that he could still do.
Yeah.
He's
just one of many though. And if people use their money wisely, all this money, they're never going to spend, $300-400 million in their lifetime. That's money for their kids, their kids' kids, their kids' kids' kids. I mean, and they have money that's working for them. And if people would just simply take a step back and quit being selfish and utilize that money towards, it's not about giving their money away to people. And I really wish they would stop calling these affordable housing or low income housing. I really wish they would stop saying that. They just need to call it affordable housing because that's what it is. It's affordable housing, things that we can actually afford. And due to the history, we're put back on our income on a lot of things. We're put back in that bracket, and that's how they want to keep it. Anyway, going back.
I still don't. For me, I would want this part. Like I said, I know he will go down in history, and we remember for his basketball career. But I still want him to be remembered for this other part that he's doing, and also do more. It's not just opening a school, opening a community center, low cost housing or affordable housing for people. There's so much more that I think he and others could do for the community, and not just their own community, but they can actually extend it outwards to other places or other areas as well.
I'm going to jump into the chat real quick. I just don't want to lose them, guys. I'm sorry to cut you guys off. We got Shopper Holly. She's here. We have Bluegrass Picker that's here. Jennifer, thank you so much. We got Cameron here. We got Nate here. Brandy, Julian, Meggie. Guys, thank you so much for stopping in.
Cameron, I think I see Cameron in here.
Yeah, Cameron here.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Go ahead, Ms. Taffy.
All right. When I think of Black businesses, I can't help but think about Master P. He's played a big role. He's a great entrepreneur. He took his money that he made from rapping. He started other businesses, and he's still relevant to this day. And he still has money, and that's what I'm all about: maintaining, sustaining, maintaining. I'm back at it again, maintaining, what he had. He's making a future for his children, his grandchildren, and I've loved what he's done.
Yes, you're correct there. To be honest with you, my first choice was actually Master P because of the way he has stirred his how am I going to put it now? I mean, his money or his finance, into businesses and saying, just not get wealth for yourself, but get wealth for other people.
Exactly.
Trying to put your name on things, you know, and I see him a lot, you know, on his page, and when he advertises stuff and he tells you, put your name on it, you know, you can do this, put your name on, you know. I like his encouragement. There is a lot that he has done that don't think a lot of people know that he is doing.
Yeah, that's a
True.
good choice, Miss Taffy.
Yes.
Mine, guys, mine's not really a business. This isn't my heart, so sometimes I just speak from my heart. Mine would be my father. He's not here. He's been going for about 20 years over that. But when he was growing up, he was told, oh, you can't date white women. Stay in your lane. He was also had a lot of good friends that you guys see me joke around about Italian people and the whole percentage thing and all that. My dad was very good friends with a lot of the big name Italian people in Rhode Island, and he wasn't afraid to go outside of that box where everybody else in the 70s was like, oh no, well you can't do that, like that's not your place. Sorry to go off on that part, guys,
No,
but
okay.
to me, that's what means a lot to me is this guy who was just a son of 6 that said, you know what, no, I can do what I want to do. So that's
good. Speaking up and holding your ground.
Yeah.
Another person that stands out to me is which was my person, was Ice Cube. I think of Ice Cube, and you think about this man started in 1988, and everyone know his album. Everybody know what album he came out with. So we don't have to go down through that. But this man has went through so many phases in his life. I mean, you talking about a criminal, to having his own production studio, to having his own basketball league, to making all these great movies, still making music. I don't know, y'all know he got another album about to drop. Like this man is still making music, and he's done it all once again. Besides counting back from when he started, he's done it all with no hiccup. Right? He's stayed married, supports his kids. He does everything right. He opens businesses. He just gives the community in general just a lot of opportunity through acting and music to kind of get out their current situations. And he's a proven fact to not let your surroundings dictate your future. I think just concentrating on that, our community, African American community, because that's what we're talking about, y'all. Our community in a whole, from what I see, this is just my own personal opinion, likes to stand on this, well, I'm a victim to my environment situation, right? You like to play the victim all the time, but I get it. Oh, trust, believe I get it. We all have the same story. I grew up in the hood, grew up in a single mom household, and this and that, drug infested, all that, we yada yada. We can talk about that all day long, but what does that really do for you? You can go one or two different ways. You can get caught up in the sauce. You keep living that life, or you can take that and learn from it and say, you know what? I never want to live like this ever again. I don't want my kids to ever live like this again. And everyone always says, well, there's no opportunity. There's opportunities.
Yes.
You can make opportunities. There's opportunities. So if you look back at people selling drugs, right, which is huge in our community, slinging drugs, selling weed, like whatever, you look back on that, you're teaching yourself how to be a businessman. Now, if you could take that concept and put it towards something else, imagine what you can do. And that's how you first learn the business. You learn it from the streets.
Yeah.
You learn how much an ounce sells for, right? You learn, who's your clientele base. You know that at the first of the month, you about to be busy, right? It all applies towards business. It all applies towards business. They would just look at it a different way. They can use that for their advantage. And the people, I just really wish we would take that victimized mentality out of our head and do something more, because we're so, as a culture, we are so blessed with so much knowledge. We are so blessed with just the athleticism. Like, each race is built different, right? Our race is built with the perseverance to survive, and we have great athleticism, and we have a major willpower. We have strong willpower. Our race in the whole, our willpower is just undeniable. And if people would just use that more towards the good than the bad, man, we can do so much more. And everyone always want to start and say, well, what are you doing for the community, right? Everyone says that. You talk about it, but what are you doing? I've employed more Black people than y'all have ever known. Y'all don't know that about me.
Mm-hmm.
I've employed, God knows about Black people. Tons.
Gave them a chance.
Yeah, tons. And all you can do is give them a chance.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. You can't you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink, that whole saying.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
You give them the opportunity. If they don't want to take it and run with it, then that's on them. But I have opened doors, and I will continue to open doors for y'all. Just know me for reselling.
Yes.
There's so many more other things that I do that y'all don't know about. That's really none of your dang business. But
I get it. I definitely get it.
Yeah. And there's a lot about all of us. I mean, people in the chat, or just people in general in this community that will mainly be watching us, they just know us as reselling. They don't know what, like Derek said, we don't have to get into it, but what we've been through, or what we've really been through, or what did we tell you, but what we didn't tell you. You guys, a lot of people don't know all of that. So, I'm just double backing, Derek, on you. I agree with you. Definitely.
Yeah, there's so much that we're doing in order to help our fellow brothers or our fellow sisters, that we don't really need to, I don't really need to tell everybody. I can say it once in a while, but like Derek said, you don't know what I'm doing behind the scenes. You don't know. I'm not only just a reseller. There's other things that I'm doing as well. The biggest thing I love to do that it hurts me in a way that I've kind of slowed down in doing it, maybe because of my circumstance. And I really don't need to talk about my circumstances, because that's not what we're talking about today. But I love to give. Okay. I think about somebody else before I think about myself, and if we can all do that, then we're thinking about some other person before we think about ourselves. I think that will really help the community as well. I love to give to people, whether it's money, whether it's things that I have or things that I can buy, to better them or to help them out. I love to do that, So I think I second what Derek said regarding, you don't know what you're doing in the background.
Yeah.
So I'm not just a reseller only. There's something else. There's more to Ella.
Derek, is there any respectful things you've seen in the chat that you want to make attention to?
Well, I saw Tommy agreed. I was reading it. He said, I love that, Derek. It's really hard to support people that play the victim, that don't do anything to better themselves and use it as a tool to help others. I mean, I just think that's so key for anyone. That's any race in general, is to stop playing the victim role and do something about it.
Yeah. I just want to touch on that too. Sorry. I wasn't really playing the victim role. I think I was just being lazy in a sense. I have my very good friend, she's in the chat. And I remember I had something happen to me 4 years ago, and I was really down and out. Okay. I was really down and out. I didn't know if I could pick myself back up. And I've been able to pick myself back up several times. And I'm not the kind of person that asks people for help. I'm the one always trying to help somebody else, And I remember there's something I said to her, and she said, oh, if Ella could say that, then you know what, come on board. And I remember when I started working, I didn't work. When I came to this country, I had a business. I didn't work for nobody. I said, I turned 40 and I said, you know what? My dad turned 40, he didn't work for nobody. He started his own real estate business. And I said to myself, oh, I'm 40 now. I've been working for the British government for 10 years. I said, no, had enough. I'm going to go into business. And because I like books and I used to teach, I said, okay, I'll go into the book business. And I went into the book business and did so well. But then I had to pack that up. And my friend, she said to me, Ella, we lost contact for about a year. And then when we got into contact again, she said, what are you doing? I said, no. She said, what about the business? I said, no. She said, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? And, do reselling. I said, no, that's not for me. I don't want to go to Goodwill. I don't want to go. So I was thinking about myself, thinking this is somebody trying to give me motivation and help me and push me. And I was like, no, I don't feel like it. But she did push me. And if she didn't push me today, I wouldn't know Derek. I wouldn't know nobody today. He really did push me every day. I'm telling you, she still calling me, Ella, you listening?
And we all need that push. We all need that push. We need to be motivated.
Push me. You better start listening. And she sent me boxes. I've done unboxing where she sent me boxes. I didn't, she said, I'm going to send you a box. You need to start listening. You need to start making that money. So she encourages me, makes me want to okay, I want to start helping my community as well. She's helping me. So I am able to help my community.
Okay. I see. Okay. That's a blessing. I see Brandy Sims. They said, I don't know all Black people having this experience. And that's the good thing. Everybody's experience is different. Everybody's story is their story. Yeah. And that's why we're here sharing our stories, hoping that, maybe someone that's down and out, they could probably relate to us or see that maybe if we overcame it, maybe they can overcome their situation. Cause like you said, everybody's story is completely different.
Yeah.
I was fortunate to grow up in a 2-parent household. My dad was an entrepreneur. My mom worked a 9-to-5. And that's who I feel like my drive from. So my childhood wasn't that bad, but I've seen things that I shouldn't have seen. But I'm thankful for that overall.
Yep. It's just all how you take it.
Correct.
It's all how you take that information and put it towards your use. Julian said some of the brightest business people I ever met were doing business in the streets. Intricate operations. If applied differently, I'm certainly they would have been super successful. It is people, you take what you're given. All right. You literally do. People think folks sell drugs in the street just because they want to. Hey, some do, but a large portion of them are just really trying to support their family. They're not looking at the what it's doing to the community. They're not looking at that. They're looking at what do I have to do to support my family, and that's what they're out there doing. Same thing.
But don't you think that is fast money instead of doing what like you and I are doing? Don't you think people are doing that because it could, they can make more money from it instead of
Some are, but I think a large portion of it, no one wants to literally wake up every single day looking behind their back, because that's essentially when you sell drugs, that's what you're doing. You got to watch your back every single moment. No one likes to live their life like that. That's a horrible feeling.
Risky.
Trust me, I know it's a horrible feeling to wake up and can't trust. You literally can't trust anyone. You can't trust anyone. You don't know if somebody's gonna run up in your house. Everyone knows where you're at. Like, it's a rough life, and I cannot believe, I personally can't think that all people want to do that. And it is fast money, but sometimes that's all they have. That's
all they know.
That's legit all they know. They grew up in it. They learned the business from their brothers and their dads, and they see it and they live it. And it's hard to get out that cycle when that's all you know.
Exactly.
And even crossing that over, if you think about strippers, right? Everyone look at strippers in a different facet, right? They look at it just as a scum of the earth. Their pleasures are just there for the man to go sling some money in the air, and then they're just some of the most grossest people in the world. Well, I know quite a few, and that's not true for most. Right, a lot of them get into that industry because it's fast money. Right, it's fast money, and they're working towards a goal. A lot of them get caught up in the lifestyle and realize, oh, that fast money, and then they get old and realize that they wasted their life and they have nothing to put on their resume. They can't put that they were stripping on their resume. What job you getting putting that? Not much. But a lot of people use that avenue to get out of their current situation that they're in. So it applies across the board. I wouldn't think that they want to do it. They just see it as fast money, and that's all they have.
Correct.
And speaking for me, some of you guys know, and I really don't care. Like I said, I tell you guys what I want to tell you. Okay. So some people think I tell too much. You don't know what I'm really telling you. You don't know everything that I really been through. But what Derek is just saying was literally me in a bag. Okay. My mother and father, my father was my mother's pimp. I literally walked the streets with my mother, literally saw her. And I'm sitting here listening to you guys. And I'm like, okay, so my business, when Derek's talking, my business aspect, I'm just like, okay, because I've never really figured out why am I such a business person? Why am I always been a hustler? Why have I never done drugs? Because I knew when mom went to work, I'd get food tomorrow. And when my father did what he had to do, I'd get Christmas presents. And did I do any of that? No. Are they here to be able to live their life? No, they are not. They're gone. Okay. But all being said, for what they did to make me a better person, I'm being a better person. So when Derek says that, like when people say, like Ella, and I'm not disagreeing with you, but like fast money, my mother was stuck in that. I feel that my mother didn't really, in my eyes, okay, this is speaking for me, but I feel that she got in it so young, she didn't know the way out, and by the time she knew the way out, she had already passed away. Again, I don't mean to get down and dirty, guys, but I'm just gonna tell you how it is. I don't care what you think about me.
I'm on a podcast.
I don't care what you think about me. This is me. So, go ahead, Derek.
I know. I'm just listening, man. I'm literally just listening.
Yeah, I understand. Leroy, I understand your situation with your mom. I've never been in that type of situation, although I have a family member that I know of, or my parents being in that situation. My point that I was making, I know of somebody that did it, and my question to them was, why do you think you could just sell drugs and not, open a business or do something else? It's that it will take me time, but this is fast money and quick. So that's the reason they decided to do that type of business.
I understand.
And I believe at the end of the day, what we don't know, that's what hurts us at the end of the day, because we don't know other avenues of ways to get money. This is all we know. And that's when it goes to our surroundings, who we're surrounded by, having mentors, and just thinking outside the box. And it's unfortunate we didn't have those things. A lot of people didn't have those things back in history. And still to this day, they still don't have those things.
Yeah,
that's why it's good for people like us to just inspire and try to show, hey, there's different ways to, make money. Because we make more than drug dealers. Never mind, it's a whole other story. But it's just knowing, and it's like we don't have to look over our shoulder, It's just knowing what you can do and inspiring others and just, hey, go for it. Come up with a business idea. Like one of my close friends, she's about to start cooking, and I'm trying to help her do that. She's going to start selling plates. I'm like, start somewhere, sell plates, and then get you a truck. But she didn't think about that until I kept pushing her, because she kept telling me she needed money. I'm like, okay, what are you good at? What do you love to do? She said, cook. I said, there you go. That's a business right there. Because guess what? I love to eat, but I don't like to cook. So
a lot of people don't. I love to eat too.
It's all about who we're surrounded by.
Yeah, it's about pivoting. If you think about it, it's about finding a point in your life, and then you pivot from it. And I think our community, just in general, are great pivoters. We'll find a point, and we'll take that point and turn it to do something else with it. I mean, you think about some of the greatest people in history. Think about Dr. King, right? Dr. Martin Luther King. Everyone knows who he is. And when he gave that speech in '63, when he came out originally, that speech was supposed to be more political than anything. He wasn't going to go out there and talk about his dream. He ad-libbed that. I don't know if y'all know the singer Mahalia Jackson.
Yeah.
Mahalia Jackson was there, and while he was on the stage, she apparently was like, tell him about your dream, King. Tell him about your dream. And he pivoted and turned that whole speech from a political speech to an activist speech.
Yeah.
And started talking about his dream, and became more of a sermon. And to this day, that is known as one of the greatest speeches ever. in life. And that was just based off of a pivot. Mahalia Jackson saw a moment where 250,000 people were sitting there listening to this man speak. She saw a moment that he should pivot and turn it into a political rights speech instead of a political speech.
Yeah.
And history is written. A lot of people don't know that. He didn't write that speech for it to come out the way it was. It was on the ad lib that he turned that speech that way.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow.
And there's people in the chat, guys. We see your comments. If we're not getting to them, I do see them and I am reading them. This is just a really good panel today. So if we're not jumping over to you guys, please understand that we're just really deep into the conversation and we're not trying to not acknowledge what you guys are writing in the chats.
Okay. Well, I want to get the chat more involved. I have a question for them. If you guys could relate to someone that goes down in history, who would it be and why? And you guys on the panel can answer as well after we get a few answers from the chat.
Yeah. Appreciate all you guys for joining us in the chat. It looks like we got about 25 people watching right now. That's
Yeah,
Thank you guys. That's amazing. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
midday.
Yeah. And I see Jennifer
Hit
dropping
the like
everybody's
button, please.
Yeah, Jennifer's dropping everybody's channels as we're waiting for you guys to put your people in the chat. Please go and follow these guys. I'm new, guys. Derek's been around for a little while, but the rest of us are new, and we just appreciate you guys supporting us and just encouraging us. We really appreciate that.
Okay, I'm going to repeat the question. Bluegrass Picker asked again. I said, if you could relate to someone that goes down in history, who would it be and why? Like, who can you relate to the most?
Somebody in the panel can jump, and then we'll jump back onto the chat.
Okay.
Go ahead, Taff.
Okay. To me, I would say Serena Williams. We grew up in the same neighborhood. She's very passionate about, her niche, which is tennis. And I'm very passionate about anything I do. I put my all into it. And I've loved what her and her sister have done. And they made a good name for Compton. And I'm very proud to say that's my cousin. No, it's not my cousin, but
that's my fam.
Yes. My name is Natasha Williams, hers is Serena Williams. It might be my cousin, but I'm very proud of what they've done.
Distance cousin.
Yes, distant cousins.
Right.
Yes.
What about you, Leroy? You have anyone in particular?
I Bluegrass put it in there. She says Serena. That's my girl. that is my girl. Like I'm just saying. But for me it is there's just so many. There's a lot of people, and I really don't know who to single out at this point. But there's so many people. I mean, there's people were saying in the chats last week, like Will Smith and his whole family. He put his whole family in, the Wayans brothers and their whole family. Like they didn't say, oh, well, let me just take this for myself and I'm going to take this little bit of bread and I'm going to just mold it. No. They said, okay, listen, I got some bread, but I want to make a loaf of bread. And they tried to get their family in as much as they can to continue what they've learned in the business, and keep it in their family and to keep it in their heritage as well.
Yes. Paving the way. That's a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really I don't really know who I can vote to pick really, but it's a politician that I'm actually interested in what she's doing or has been doing, which is Stacey Abrams. She had come a very, very long way, and for her to turn this whole election round, and for everything that she did, I don't want to talk politics or whatever, but I would just say for me, I would mention her, Stacey Abrams.
Okay.
Mine, I wouldn't say that I would tie him to my history, but I think it was more of an understanding, and I'll kind of tie it together. Me working in the corporate America world as an African American is tough. It was really tough because the higher you go up, the more they want you to conform and become more of a robot than who you really are. And who I tie that to and is Tiger Woods. Let me explain why. Tiger Woods was real quick to denounce his blackness in an interview when they asked him, what are you mixed with? Or I don't know the exact question, but he was real quick to not confirm that he was black. But when everything went down, he was black real fast. They ostracized him. And guess what? John Daly, I love golf, but John Daly in particular, this man smoking cigarettes, eating chicken wings out there on the golf course. And they didn't ostracize him for all the weird stuff that he's done. But as soon as my man Tiger Woods decides he has a sex problem, that came out and they made it seem like he was the worst person in the absolute world. And they ostracized him because he was black. And he realized that he can't get away from that. He realized that he's going to be black for the rest of his life. And when something goes wrong, he's definitely going to be black.
Yeah.
And it also goes to Mike Vick. Think about Mike Vick. Think about all these other football players and I don't condone what Mike Vick did with animals at all, but it's animals, and I get it. People love their animals, but you got football players out here raping people. You got football players out here beating their wives. Mike Vick was ostracized out the game. He was locked up in prison because of dog fighting. He lost his career. He came back, got money because they felt they could capitalize on it. But he lost his career because of dog fighting. Think that happened for any other race? Nah. That's how I can relate to that just in life. Is there's times I was ostracized for being who I am. And I think you guys know me by now. I'm not going to conform to anyone. I'm not going to conform to the way I talk. I'm not going to conform to what I do, which is why I work for myself now, because I would never conform. And it has nothing to do with falling in line. It has to do with me in general. If I can't wake up every single day and look in the mirror and realize the person who I am, then I will never be happy. I've never been happier in my life. Waking up, working from 6:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. at night, right? I'm putting in 18, 19-hour days, but it doesn't feel like that. Why? Because I'm the only one that I have to answer to.
Exactly.
I'm the only one. But when I was working for a company and people pulling your strings and controlling you, telling you what to do, telling you how you can and can't act. And I get it. In the corporate America, there's rules and to things you can and can't say. That's just life in general. Even when you work for yourself, the customer service aspect, you can't cuss everybody out. In my head, I do. But I know just customer service wise, you can't. I get it. But I'm not going to allow someone to tell me how black I should be. I'm not going to have someone tell me I can't speak with my twang, that I can't, move the way I move. I can't dress the way I dress. I'm sorry. I'm not your child. You're not ever going to tell me that. And that should be my choice. And that's how I relate Tiger, going back to the thing, Tiger Woods to, I guess, to me, because you're pointed, you are highlighted real fast when you do something wrong, that you're black.
Yeah, no, it's very unfortunate.
Well, I relate to myself, and this is how I relate to myself. Like, you can only be you, you can only be you. I might not look, there's so many people you can look up to, but first and foremost, I'll probably look up to myself. Coming from England, I don't think I noticed suffering any kind of racism or so, even at the job when I was working.
1 second, guys.
Like when I got here, it was different. I didn't want to work for anybody, and I started, like I said, 2007. I started my own business, and I was working for myself, and I loved it so much. Unfortunately, about 4 years ago, I had to pack it up and, go back into corporate and start working for other people. And I couldn't believe I was working in customer service, and I remember answering a call one day, and I was told that I didn't sound American enough, and I was like, what do you mean? And he said, you're stealing our business. I'm like, how am I stealing your business? It's just from a customer. And then tell me I'm not American enough because I have an accent. And like, oh, where are you from? And like, what has that got to do with, anything? Doesn't have anything to do with what you are going to tell me so I can help you. That's another thing I noticed here. So I really did pray that, I don't want to work for anybody. I would love to work for myself so I don't have to answer to nobody. And right now it's not, it is the situation I'm in right now. I have to work part-time in order for me to pay my rent. I can't wait for that day to come again where I don't have to rely on that part-time job, and I don't have to pick up the phone where somebody don't want to talk to me and say, because I don't sound an American, could you please put somebody on the phone that sounds American so I can talk to them instead. I don't want to hear all that. If it's my business and you're talking to me, I can easily just put the phone down. I don't want your business if you're going to be rude to me on the phone. So.
Yeah. And I want to just acknowledge that the nice thumbnail that you guys saw was from Topher.
Thank you, Topher. Thank you.
Yeah, you always do a great job, and I feel that you're a big part of this as well. You've been standing by me and all of us to help us make this work as well. So for everybody this isn't just the people that are on this panel. There are people on the outsides that have been helping just me put this together, and that means a lot to me because you guys are all awesome. So
and thank you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Jen answered in the chat. She said, I really like Forrest Whitaker. He's not only a great actor, but he is fighting for sustainability. And I really love that concept right now.
Yeah. Forrest Whitaker is somebody who's been in so many movies. That man has been in so many movies.
A legend.
And people still don't know his name.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. I believe we had someone else answer. Where did it go? Cameron, he commented, he said he's disappointed in Big Ben for sure. Don't know why the NFL let these humans still play after their shenanigans.
It's true. It's true. It's humans in general. Like if there's rules, you play in the NFL, if you think about the whole scope of the NFL, it is a game. It's entertainment, pure entertainment.
Business.
They get paid millions. They act like they're putting their life on the line. We can walk down the street and put our life on the line more than them playing football. They have pads. They have all this other. They're getting paid millions from our dollars, and for them, they act like there's not other athletes out there. I really wish. This is just me going off on me. In the NFL or just any professional sports, they hold spots, right? There's a lot of placeholders in these sports. I really wish there was a time limit that these people can play, because there's so many wonderful athletes out there that don't get the opportunity because of the cap, the cap hits, and they only have so many slots on the team. I really wish they would put a time limit on how long these people will play so we can see all this new talent come up. Because there's talent out there right now up the street playing basketball that could probably beat half of the NBA that's out there, but they don't have the opportunity to do it because there's cap space. There's only so many people on the roster. Just little things like that. There's so many placeholders. It just drives me crazy. I wish they would do something about that.
And I know some of those questions were targeted against me. I'm going to be straight out right now. Some of those questions were targeted against me, but all I'm going to say to that is when you got owners of NFL teams that are getting in trouble for stuff and then everything gets pushed away, that's all I'm going to say. So I'm not going to get into this. I know it was targeted a little bit, but this is, everybody can speak their own, and I'm always going to stick up for what I want to stick up for. So, not trying to go off, but there are a lot worse people, and if we stick together and not pick and choose different things, we can try to make it better. I can make it better for my daughter who's watching. I believe it was Holly or someone said they were in the car with their teenage son. This is also what we need to do, is we need to make it better for our generation, for our kids, and our seedlings. It's not all about just we've been through a lot of it, but do we want them to go through stuff as well?
Yep.
You're right.
We got Gravity Cameron said also little kids look up to them so much for them to do wrong, and other humans and animals, then back to the field and court. Doesn't teach them anything. There's consequences and repercussions. There should be consequences and repercussions to every single thing that you do. That's just the lay of the land. Unfortunately, that's just how we live. And when you're an athlete, it seems like that doesn't really apply to you.
But I feel that the kids growing up or other people, you don't only question, should they only look up to athletes? There are other people out there they could look up to. Why should it be somebody in the NFL or the basketball? Isn't there something else, somebody else they could look up to?
Because that's who the promoters, and that's who the everybody around the commercials, that's who they're pushing for. That Leroy Blood doesn't sell 35,000 pairs of sneakers,
right?
But Michael Jordan does. So now it's getting better. I think we're all at a place where we see what has happened in the past when we were younger, and to see how much better it has actually gotten. I feel, and there's a lot of things I can go on and on, but I feel that there has been stepping stones.
We made some progress.
We did.
Flipping Sport Guy, he made a good point. So much talent goes overseas as well, just because they can't get that chance here after being top college players. That happens a lot.
Yep. Way too often.
Yeah, correct.
Then you don't hear nothing about them over there.
No, you don't.
They're truly just going there. Some go for the love of the game, but most go because they're trying to support their family.
Exactly. At the end of the day, that's why most people do what they do to support their loved ones.
But some people do go abroad to start their career and to make a name for themselves before they come back here. And that's one thing I know that happens a lot in America. You have a lot of these American, it could be an athlete, it could be a musician, a singer, whatever. They start their career, they go somewhere, they go abroad to start their career, because when they started it here, nobody wanted to know them. But they go abroad, they make a big name for themselves, and all of a sudden they become famous. So a lot of groups happen like that, and a lot of players. And then when they become famous, everybody wants to hear from them. Everybody wants them to come play for their team. It happens a lot. I remember we have some talented people in Nigeria that plays good football. Well, you guys call it soccer. And, they're playing there. Nobody knows them. But then when they move and come abroad and they play, all of a sudden those in Nigeria now recognize them and want them to come and play for their team. So it happens. Musical group like NSYNC or E-Town or whatever, D-Town, I don't forget what they call the group. And they were American boys. They were in a group. But nobody knew about them until they left and were traveling Germany and everything, singing there. And then they came back here, and all of a sudden, everybody wants to know them. So that's what happened to a lot of the groups and a lot of the athletes as well.
And that's a good point you make. That happens in that sort of business, and just like with entrepreneurs as well. It's like when you're first starting off, you have to build a brand. Yes, it's like your loved ones don't support you, but once you build that brand and everyone knows you, here comes everybody want to support you. It's just unfortunate, and that's how it works.
I mean,
I
I think
not support, or they want something from you.
That too. I didn't want a discount. Let me stop.
yeah, I want that discount too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I won't buy it, but can a brother get a discount?
Yeah.
That's all
No,
I
I
want.
get it.
And I think we could probably have another series of this, but I only put Miss Taffy and some other people in for 3 weeks because we all have businesses and stuff. So
Yeah.
I mean, again, we're gonna keep it at an hour. A lot of us have to get back to work. So again, I appreciate. We're going to continue the conversation for a few more minutes, but I just wanted to, if anybody's watching this at a later time, we appreciate you coming and stopping in, and we will be doing something again soon. We just got to put our minds together.
Exactly. Because I'm really enjoying these topics and these discussion with you guys. It's been a pleasure. Let me see. I think we have another question. Or did someone respond in the chat? All right, bye, Jen.
See you later, Jen. I want to put this out in the atmosphere as far as how and why I feel like it's an obligation for athletes to do a little bit more. I know they don't ask to be role models, but they are thrusted into the limelight and they directly impact their family. And guess what? Their families are Black. You look at the NFL, where almost 70% of the players are African American. You look at the NBA, where 75% of the athletes are African American. How many of those millionaires, because they're all millionaires, and I know a lot of people do a lot of things behind the scenes, and I'm not knocking that at all. A lot of people who aren't comfortable in front of the cameras do a lot of things behind the scenes. But just imagine if you just get the top 10%. The top 10% to invest in scholarships and education and camps. They do these camps. I get that. You know what kills me? These athletes do these camps. They do these camps and they charge these kids to come to their camps. They charge these underprivileged. What do you need the money for?
Exactly.
You are rich.
And it can be a write-off.
It's a right. You don't need that. You don't need that. Like these are things. It's an obligation, man. Like if you want us to grow, they'll all sit up there and tell their stories about, hey, man, I grew up in a tough neighborhood, and all we had around us was drug dealing, and I see my mom work 7 jobs, and it never worked. It never panned out, and she had to do this and that. Look, if you want to help correct that course, you got to do something about it. And guess what? How do you change that? Money changes a lot. Money changes a lot, and you have it. So it is your obligation to help correct that course. We're taught as citizens that working 4 jobs is okay and still just barely getting by. No, it's not okay. It's not okay. We shouldn't be out here parading saying, yes, guess what? I have 7 different incomes. I have 7 different incomes and I still barely pay my bills. That's not okay. We shouldn't want to do that. We shouldn't be preaching that to people. Like it's okay to get another job paying half of what you're making on your main job and still barely able to pay your bills and put food on your table. I'm not going to applaud that. No, I'm not going to applaud that. I'm not going to put that out in the atmosphere that's okay. No, you shouldn't. You need to find better ways to take that main job and use that money to figure out what you can do with it to where you don't have to go get another job. Right? That's what you need to be doing. You need to figure out how to make your main money work for you, not go get another job to cover that extra bill that you just picked up. Like it just blows my mind that we as a society are applauding the fact that people have 5 jobs and still can't survive. They need to stop doing that. We need to teach a little better. And if these athletes who a lot of them don't have the mentoring to teach them about money, so they're out here just blowing money.
Yeah.
They out here got these millions, never seen millions before in their life. They're out here blowing these millions, just wasting their money. If they would just band together to teach these younger athletes, and thus that it just goes down the line. They can start teaching their kids, and their kids can teach their friends. It just goes down the line. It's an obligation. It is an obligation. And I feel like if you don't look at it as an obligation, I can't really rock with you. I can't really rock with you. I'm sorry, I can't. Because we do have an obligation. We have an obligation to each other. Because if we don't do it, no one else will.
No one else.
No one will.
No.
Yeah.
No one will. So you need to start looking at it as an obligation and put that little extra pressure on yourself to see if I can help just this one person. You talking about it ain't doing nothing. You got to do something about it.
Exactly. You're absolutely right.
And you know, black, white, or indifference. Getting together in conversations like this is, in my eyes, sort of is a must-have. You need to sort of get into an area where you're a little uncomfortable, but you're comfortable. But you should do it, but you shouldn't do it, because we all need to learn and teach each other. There's a lot of people I'm seeing in the chat, and you guys know who you are. I see you guys since I've started. I've seen you guys black, white, or different, and I've seen you guys get your businesses, get your YouTube channels, and a lot bigger than it was when I first started following you guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and guess who's supporting you? All these minority YouTubers out there. Guess who's supporting you, pushing those numbers a lot for you? Black people. You want to know why? Because there's not many of you out there. It's not many of you out there pushing. They won't say that. That's the thing. They won't say nothing. You know, the audience won't really say anything. Right? To be successful on YouTube, you got to have a good mix of a little bit of everything. But you think about, I always try to tie things together. Think about the presidential election, right? What pushed Barack Obama over? What pushed our current president over the hump? The African-American community. They decided they want to go out and vote. Same thing goes on YouTube. They decide they want to support you. And so that's what pushes your numbers up a little bit more than the average. And you got to then figure out what you can do to help the community at that point. And I'm not saying you don't see me up here wearing a kente cloth or anything like that. You don't. I love my people, but at the same time, I love my family. You don't see me out there, but you get what I'm saying though? Like you don't have to be up here wearing black gloves, talking about black power. Like it ain't nothing like that. My wife is Indian, for y'all that don't know. My wife is from Fiji. She's Indian. I love my black woman.
Me too.
I love my wife also. Love is blind, right? And I love my wife. That doesn't mean I don't love my black people. That's another thing, right? If you support people outside of your race, you're instantly a black hater. No, I just love. Love has no color.
Exactly.
Love has no color.
Yeah.
So
if you're gonna support somebody, don't support them because of who they are, not because of their race or the color of their skin. If you want to support, like, yes, I like that content. I like what they're putting out there. I want to go and I want to support them. Mm-hmm. Don't support them. Don't support me because I'm black. Don't support me because I'm British. Don't support me because I speak differently. Support me because I am who I am.
Yep.
You like me as a person. If you don't like me as a person, then that's fine. But don't say I'm not going to support Ella because she's black. I'm not going to support her because she's British. Doesn't make no sense.
I'll tell you what, if I see a thumbnail with a black person on it, I'll be real quick to click on it. Then that's just in general. I think most people are like that. If someone with red hair see a thumbnail with somebody with red hair, they're going to click on it. It just attracts them. But if I click on it and your content is trash, I'm definitely not going to support you. No. I don't care what color you are. You can have a trash channel as an African American. I'm sorry. Hey, more power to you, and I wish you the best of luck. But I'm not gonna sit right there and watch your trash video. I got other things to do.
Yep.
It has to make sense.
We're an hour in. I want to respect everybody's time. I'm hoping that, like I said, I'm coming up with something, and if anybody out there wants to contact me or contact Ms. Taffy or Derek. We need to continue something once a month. We need to continue something. That's how I feel about it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think we need to continue something. So, whoever's, it doesn't matter if you're white, black, or indifferent, but we need to continue something and talk about certain things that is not comfortable. I was like, is this going to hurt is this going to hurt me from me doing this because people don't really know who I am? No, I'm going to support and be who I am. And if you don't like me, hey, you know what? That's somebody else that you're not giving a hard time to. So I thank you. You guys can all do your closing. I appreciate all of you guys. And again, I really appreciate it.
Okay,
Thank
I'll keep
you.
it. I'm sorry. You go on, Ella.
No, that's okay. I was just saying thank you to what he just said.
No, thank you guys for tuning in, and thank you, Ella and Derek, for joining us. I really appreciate you guys, and it's been a pleasure. Thank you, Leroy, for bringing this to my attention. I'm glad I could join you on this as well.
Ella, go
Thank
ahead.
you, guys. I really appreciate the welcome to this community. I've only been on it since October. It seems like I've been on it for like a year or plus. It looks like I've known Derek since for a long time. I like the way he pushes and encourage. I like the community out there. So I just want to say thank you so much. And Derek, keep pushing me, keep saying what you're saying, keep being who you are, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much.
I see I don't cut you guys off. I see in the chat, there's people that are asking us to do something once a month.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, go ahead, Derek.
Yeah, it's my last thing is I just challenge everyone when they hear people talk about history or their particular cultural history, don't get offended by it. Accept it, it because this month this month was given to highlight African American culture. There's so many great things that all races have done for our American society, just the civilization in general. This month was given to highlight that. And when people come on YouTube or any other platform and talk about their history, stop being offended by it. Accept it because their history is their history. And if they want to talk about it, then let them talk about it. And just understand that there's history all around you, regardless of how you look at it. There's history all around you. You can't escape it. Just because people are online talking about it doesn't mean that they're pro, just them. No, it just means they're celebrating their history. They love their history. They live their history. It's going to continue to be their history. And they're going to have to continue to live through any challenges that come with their history. And them getting together talking about it doesn't mean that they don't like other races. It just simply means they're celebrating, in this case, their blackness. And that's exactly what we're doing. I love my blackness. I love all the challenges that come along with it, and I wouldn't change it. And I love people across the board of all races and all colors.
Mm-hmm.
But the number one thing I love is my black people. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to continue to support them. And why? Because we are the only ones that can change the issues that we have. And I'm going to keep pushing towards that no matter how small it is. I'm going to continue to do it. And like it or not, it's real easy on YouTube. Just unsubscribe from me. Guess what? I'm going to go in, I'm going to eat my sandwich. I'm going to be perfectly fine with that. There's going to be no dust off my shoulder. I'm okay with that. But I love all you guys, and I love the support that you guys have shown myself on YouTube. I really do. And I appreciate it. I met some awesome people on YouTube, and it presented us this opportunity to gather. I would have never met any of you guys if it wasn't for YouTube. And I'm highly appreciative of it. So, I just leave you with that. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
And I want to say thank you again, Derek, for giving me that opening, because if you didn't, I probably wouldn't be on this call. But I want to thank you for giving me my first step up.
Yeah. And guys, if you're watching this at a later time, again, we appreciate it. If you know somebody that should watch it, tell them to watch it. Like Derek said, if you don't like my channel, don't watch it again. But some conversations, doesn't matter what you are, have to be had. I'm gonna let Miss Taffy finish off, but I'm done.
We're gonna close this out. We over an hour, but I had a great time today, you guys. The conversation, it flowed. Like I said, thank you guys again. Thanks everyone for watching. Let's continue to be great and in any aspect of our life, and just stay positive, keep hustling, and have a great day. Bye, y'all.
Bye, everyone.